Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over Friday's games. I only played one set on Friday, I played no sets on Saturday, and I'm recording this on Sunday morning. I may or may not play sets today. Like I've said before, sometimes it's really difficult for me to play on the weekend. I did try, as just a aside, I did try to record this on a free app on my phone to upload. On Friday, so that y'all could see the games from Friday before, obviously, today is Sunday. But I don't know, free app, it didn't really work out. I couldn't edit the video down, and then I recorded like 17 minutes, and then it ended up being a 20-minute, and it wouldn't let me add on any audio, so I had to wait till Sunday to get back to my computer, and yeah, here are the games. So let's go ahead and just get straight into them. If you haven't, definitely hit that sub button. It helps me out a ton. Alright, so technically I've already recorded this before, so the games are somewhat in my mind. Okay, Skarmory lead, you know, we love this. We shield once, and we go for the double Thunder Punch. If they don't shield any of them, they get KO'd. If they do shield one, we'll switch into Muchlax after the second punch. So, what I'm trying to do in these videos, and I'm sure y'all have figured this out at this point, I'm trying to help y'all learn all the matchups and how I go about them, because I always go about them in the exact same way if I can. Sometimes the opponents change it up on me, and I have to just go with the flow, but other than that, I follow like a strict, like, I don't know, process, I guess. So, again, we shield once, and then we go for this Thunder Punch. Boom. You always make it to the second Thunder Punch before they make it to the second Sky Attack. They always make it to the first Sky Attack before you make it to the first Thunder Punch. But they don't always throw right at the move. Sometimes they do wait and try to bait you with a Brave Bird. I have actually, and I always showed the first one because I have actually been Brave Birded before. It's definitely not a ton, but yeah. Okay, they switch into a hard counter Mew into the Hypno, so I decided to switch into Munchlax because Scrafty can take on Mew later. They do throw a wild charge at us, but it doesn't have stab. It still does about 35-40%, so they bring in the Azu. We're going to be able to do a ton of damage to it before it comes out of this matchup. I think they're probably going to Ice Beam and then farm all the way down after that, which will give them probably 100 energy leaving this matchup, but we still have Hypno with a decent amount. The only question is whether or not I'm going to need to shield Hypno, and I probably will. Actually, it depends what happens in this matchup here, because if we do get another Body Slam off, this will change a ton here, or if we even get the shield, that might change a lot as well. We didn't get it there. It is kind of low. Oh, if we get this Thunder Punch, we're so good. Oh my goodness, we just keep missing the moves. It is kind of low. Maybe we go into the Scrafty here and try to power through this. Gain enough energy off of this Azu to go into that Mew matchup with a ton of energy. And then if they even throw a Play Rough here, I mean, Azumarill's the one we're going to want to shield. The Mew only has Surf and Wild Charge, if I was guessing. So we're not too worried about either of those moves. Obviously, if they get 2 wild charges off, we're donezo. But look how much energy we have. We have over 1 full foul play's worth of energy. And now it's a baiting game. I do remember this match. I won't spoil it, but it's 50-50 at this point for our opponent. Like, we're just going to throw moves and hope they do or don't shield. And then they have to guess correctly, because we will make it to 2 foul plays and a power-up punch before they get to 2 wild charges, because we had such an energy advantage. And they decided that we were going to bait there, and then obviously we didn't. So we probably lose that game if they do shield there, because they go for the double wild charge, and we'll be out of energy, and then that's just GG. Alright, Mew leads, so we're just going to guess it's Asian Milkman team. We're coming into Scrafty here. I like it when I call it and it actually happens. That means I know I'm doing it right. All right, and with Meganium coming in, I'm not even going to try to outright shield through this matchup and go for the power punches, which is what I usually do in a Meganium situation, but never from like a switch like this. I'm actually going to try to win the switch here by just going double foul play, and if they shield, they shield. I think I remember this matchup because it gets a little weird because they try to overfarm. They actually do shield the first move. I don't know if I see that very often from Meganiums. I feel like every time I go for the power punch, they never shield, but A little unlucky here, but we're going to keep to the plan. We go for the second foul play here. Does get them pretty low. They go for a little bit of an overfarm here. And then now I'm thinking, do I match this shield and go for this power-up punch? Because if I go for this power-up punch and I win switch, I can always throw Munchlax onto Mew, and that'll be pretty easy for me. And then if they do shield, I mean, we'll get the shield advantage either way. So that's my plan. The things that can go wrong with this plan is Mew can actually farm down this Scrafty at this point, which is actually what they end up doing, which sucks for me, but it is what it is. We're going to come in with Munchlax, like you said, like we saw earlier. The Wild Charge doesn't do too much, and if they do Wild Charge, they're going to have to switch out. So the odds of this being a Wild Charge is pretty low, unless they do a double Wild Charge and swap out, which is fine. And then they come in actually with Registeel. I was thinking it was going to actually be like a Skarmory or a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. But this is an interesting one. So their team is kind of like a safe lead with two opposites in the back, which is fine. Registeel here, Focus Blast doesn't KO Munchlax from full health. Just remember that. But we are not at full health. They got that Surf through, which is going to give them the advantage. So what I thought was, okay, I'm just going to come in with Hypno. Hypno already sucks against Mew. So I'm just going to try to eat all the energy from this Registeel, do the damage I can, and hope that I don't have to go for a Bulldoze. Because I don't know if I can actually make it to a Bulldoze, considering they're going to want to overfarm in this matchup before throwing the second Flash Cannon, which is what they're doing now. Unfortunately, we don't get to the next Thunder Punch, but I think work has been done here. I'll have to shield Munchlax no matter what against the Registeel, but I think we've gotten it so low that all the lick damage accumulating here is with the Body Slam is going to probably be enough. I know it doesn't look like it here, but I'm saying before they actually get to the next move, because it's going to take them a long time as well. They're also using one turn move Lock On, but obviously Lick does more damage than Lock On. And yeah, they're pretty low here. This definitely doesn't KO. They're a Steel type, but like I said, they're going to be too low that the Lick damage is going to come through before they ever make it to a Focus Blast. And it actually did a little more than I thought. We're going to go for the Body Slam here on the Mew. Yeah, if this is Wild Charge, they're done for. So yeah, Surf, that makes sense. We're going to get this Body Slam off, but I don't think this KOs. If we do get Wild Charge here, we're definitely going to lose. Even a Surf here is really close. Remember, we did get that good Munchlax in the trade I guess it's been a month almost at this point. Because that's going to come in handy with the bulk here. And we actually do survive this Surf. And now we don't have to be too fearful to Lock-Ons, like we said before. Lock-On's doing less damage than Lick for sure, even though they're both one-turn moves. They're both going to come through. Alright, next game. This is Game 3, Azu lead. You'd love to see it up here. We'll shield once if they go to 7. Ooh, they do switch straight to Sableye. That leads me to believe what's in the back is Marowak. The team that leads Azu and comes in with Sableye is almost always Double Ghost. So that's really good for us. It probably means, if it's that team, this game's over. This team will win that like 99% of the time. Unfortunately, I did not pay attention to the Sableye. I thought a return was coming through. This Sableye is not purified. Oh, that was a big mistake there. We lost the shield for free. We obviously resist Power Gym and Foul Play, so really don't want to be shielding anything. And I'm just going to go for the full farm down here. Now that we're not scared of anything, I'm just going to try to get as much energy as I can going into the Azu matchup. Yeah, this Power Gym. It actually did a lot more than I thought, but, you know, it still resisted, so what can we do? We would have lived if we had gotten hit by the previous one, and we would have been lower HP, and this Azu couldn't have dreamed of a world where it farmed down. Although I don't think it can farm down here, so he'll probably go to 100 energy and then throw an Ice Beam if he has it. What we're going to do, what I like to do in the Azu matchup is to Power Up Punch once and then start Foul Playing. At least our counters and Foul Play will do damage. Scrafty's only alive as long as they want Scrafty to be alive. Because we obviously can't handle a Azumarill, and I'm not going to waste a shield here, especially since they're trying to get to 100 energy, and they can just go Ice Beam one bubble into a second Ice Beam from 100. So yeah, we're just waiting our timeout. If I get another Foul Play off here, that'll be nice. They actually do go for the full farm down. This is kind of wild because Scrafty was at like 35-40%. That's a little greedy of a farm down here. No, and then they actually do throw. Oh, that sucks for our opponent. I guess we won CMP. I don't know if that's normal. I think Scrafty does probably win CMP. I imagine Azumarill is just a very tanky beast. And since we think it's Marowak in the back, I'm definitely not shielding Hypno. But it probably doesn't matter at this point because Munchlax can take on both of these Mon even without shielding. Probably. And since we do have energy, I'm going to farm this all the way down, and then they see that that's going to happen, so they bring in the Marowak, and I'm actually just going to throw both Thunder Punches, I think. Marowak takes a lot of damage from Hypno. Even though Marowak does counter Hypno, in some circumstances, Hypno can still beat Marowak just because it does so much damage. So basically, if you have shield advantage or a huge energy advantage over the course of a game, you can definitely do that. And then we bring out Munchlax, and it's just over. You can farm it all the way down from here. No matter how much energy this Marowak has, it can never really do too much to Munchlax. Although saying that, the fire move, what is it called? Fire Blast, I think? It can obviously do a lot, but, I mean, I'm definitely not going to shield it, and it's not going to do enough to actually change the course of this matchup. But I guess be wary of that move if they go up to, I think it's 8 fire spins, so... Alright, Surfetch. It's a really good lead, obviously. We have lost to a few Surfetch leads because it does have a dark move in Night Slash. Also, it has Brave Bird as its finisher move if they want to go that. Not every Surfetch goes that, but yeah. So whenever someone switches into a Skarmory from a good lead for us, I usually like to get a Thunder Punch off so that Munchlax can have a really easy time with the Skarmory here in the back. We can even take the move here, even if it's Brave Bird, which it definitely isn't. Yeah, anyways, what I was saying about first Surfetch, the way we lose to a Surfetch is if it somehow gains tons of energy throughout the matchup. In that third matchup, when it switches out of Hypno for the second time, it can farm down Munchlax, and then later, if it does have enough health, it can farm down Scrafty, maybe, if Scrafty's low enough. And then that can really give you a superb edge against Hypno. So that's just a word out there for the Surfetch users. It's definitely not 100% win rate. They can definitely gain energy throughout the matchups. They do shield. I don't fault them for that. Body Slam actually does an absolute ton of damage. So Surfetch is one of the very squishy fighters, which is why I said only in some circumstances can it actually beat Scrafty, because it doesn't actually have a charge move that does super effective damage against Scrafty, so you're completely relying on the counters. And Scrafty is actually dealing neutral damage with its counters, and since Surfetch is so squishy, Power Up Punch actually does a lot to Surfetch as well. You'll see that coming up here. The same thing goes for Shadow Machamp. Even though Shadow Machamp is dealing an insane amount of damage, Cross Chop, if you do have a shield for the Cross Chop, obviously Cross Chop is super effective. If you do have a shield for the Cross Chop, you can actually deal more damage than he can deal back to you in the one shield. I believe if you have a slight energy advantage or already the pup advantage. I have to double check that, but that's how I play those matchups. And then obviously in the Mirror matchup, this is like clockwork. We just Power Up Punch once, and then we try to get through. And then I remember in this matchup, I get super baited here. I even said to myself, this can't possibly be a third last resort, and I end up shielding anyways. And I don't even think a last resort KOs from here. So this was a really bad shield, especially with everything I said about Hypno being susceptible to the charge moves of Surfetch. But they are super low, and I do think I have 3 Power Up Punches, so it really doesn't matter, because they may not shield this first one, but look how much damage Power Up Punch does. Like I said, Surfetch is beyond squishy. This second Power Up Punch probably would KO. And then I think I switch straight to Hypno after this, just so that they don't get energy, and I can just one Confusion them down. Yeah, GG. Alright, that was game 4. So we've had 2 neutral leads, 1 good lead, and 1 bad lead. So we end up with 2 bad leads, 1 good lead, and 2 neutral. The neutral leads, obviously, I'm saying, are Skarmory and Azumarill. They're really neutral, and they can decide whether or not they want to win. And if Azumarill has Hydro Pump, it can win on a bait, because I'm probably... There's not a 0% chance, but I'm probably not shielding Hypno twice. It just doesn't make sense to the comp. We need a shield for Scrafty there. So they do throw the Rock Slide onto Muchlax. I almost never shield that first move. And then they bring in the Meganium. We do have a ton of energy here. I don't think one Frenzy Plant KOs from here, so I'll probably take one. And then maybe, depending on where we're at, maybe shield once to pull another shield from them. Or to pull one shield from them. Because we kind of have to get through those shields for Hypno to even have a chance against Galarian Stunfisk later down the line. So we'll see about that. Alright. We're going to do that shield here. I think I'm pretty close. Oh, no, we live here. Wow. So we're super duper low. In fact, that Vine Whip probably KO'd us. But we're going to get the shield advantage here, or we're going to get the switch advantage, which both pretty good. Switch would have obviously been better. But, you know, we'll take this. We'll probably come in Hypno, no shield of Frenzy Plant, try to farm down. Get some energy advantage. Hypno, I guess I'm just going to save the shields for Scrafty and hope that Scrafty can beat whatever's in the back. It is possible that there's a Skarmory in the back. It's also more probable that it's a Sableye in the back. Oh, Cresselia. Okay, Cresselia is actually a really good matchup. Or a really bad matchup, I should say, for Scrafty. Really good for the Cresselia because obviously a Moonblast does one-shot Scrafty. And these do about half, but they don't actually do half. So you have to land more than 2 or counter it down. The good thing for us is obviously we have the shield advantage now, and we have to just shield everything, even though these definitely are baits if they have Grass Knot, and they probably do because Swampert's very good in this meta, and Azumarill is also good, so you want to have that super effectiveness against it. Plus, it gives Cresselia some chances against Galarian Stunfisk, since it does do neutral with Grass Knot. So I'm assuming I'm going to get baited the whole way, and I don't think I can afford to do a bait here, so I'm just going to go straight foul play. We do have an energy advantage. We did switch in before they did, for one counter at least. So odds are we do make it to this foul play, and it will definitely KO. And then that should be game because we'll have taken no damage from this Cresselia. And then what I mean by that is the Galarian Stunfisk will have to hit us with 2 Earthquakes to KO. Actually, a little bit of damage has been done to us, maybe an Earthquake and a Rock Slide, but they are also a little chipped, so it's going to be a little easier for us to take this out. Plus, if they use all their energy here on Scrafty and then they do KO us, Hypno obviously has an energy advantage, and an Ice Punch will KO the Galarian Stunfisk if they're at like 30%. Probably 25%, 20 to 25, probably is an Ice Punch, and then they leave. And like I said, this was the only set I played on Friday and Saturday combined, and we went 5-0. I think we ended at 24-30 something. I guess we'll see here in a second. I sped this up, but I think it also took me a long time to catch this Tornadus. I will try to stream today on Sunday. Obviously, you may not know. Well, it might not matter because by the time I put this video out, I'm going to put it out as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm going to try to stream some games today. But if I don't, I will try to play some games, see if we can get our rating up. But we're pretty high. I think we gained 62 points from this set. So we're probably a 5-0 from what is the next rank after Ace? So 24-27 was our ending rank, and I think Challenger's the next rating. So yeah, we'll try to get to that, and as usual, thank y'all so much for your support, and especially to our the Patreons, Marlon Date and Michael H. Y'all are helping me out so much, and yeah, hope I can see you in the next video.